I've heard they've translated already over 35 languages for the consecration prayer. It's going to go on tomorrow, March 25th, Feast of the Annunciation. Wouldn't it be great if the Catholic Church had one single official language in which to do theology, philosophy, and liturgy? If we just had that one approved language, and then the bishops of the earth could join the Pope in consecrating Russia, and there'd be just one approved language that we all could use instead of having to translate into English, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Arabic, Ukrainian, Chinese, Russian, every dialect of Africa. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if we just chose one and used, oh, we did. This consecration should be done in Latin, the mother tongue of Mother Church, in union with the Bishop of Rome, using the Roman language, which is Latin. They're not. They're using all the different translations. Very Vatican II, got to use every single translation. And then these translations have shown a problem, and that is the phrase in Spanish, the mother tongue of Francis, Tierra del Cielo. People are saying, is this Pachamama? Bishop Strickland says of Pope Francis, as we join Pope Francis in the consecration prayer on March 25th, we must pay special attention to Mary's titles like Queen of Heaven. There are questions about some translations in other languages. We must ensure that all translations are accurate and honor Mary, Queen of Heaven, end quote. Of course, in English, it says Queen of Heaven, but in Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and other languages like Arabic, it says Heaven of Earth. That we must be careful that the translations are proper and accurate. The English says Queen of Heaven. The other ones say Earth of Heaven. What is going on? Lex orandi, lex credendi. The law of how we ought to pray is the law of how we ought to believe. Our prayer, whether it be the rosary, the Mass, or here, a consecration, the words matter. It's not enough to say, well, God just kind of knows what we mean. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Let your words be brief. Don't babble on like the pagans. Say what needs to be said. And all of this, everything that's gone into this is chaotic and it's confusing. And I tweeted out this morning from 1 Corinthians. St. Paul says, God is not the author of confusion. When you come before the Mother of God to obey her, it should not be chaotic. It should not be confusing. You might say, well, why are you making it confusing? I'm not making it confusing. I didn't bring the Pachamama onto the altars. I didn't bring the Pachamamas into St. Peter's. I didn't have a Pachamama liturgy in the Vatican Gardens. I am a Catholic trying to love Jesus Christ, looking at all this stuff and saying, how do I make sense of this with what Jesus teaches in the Bible and the 12 apostles teach and what every pope has taught for the past 2,000 years? How do I fit this? How do I take a square peg into a round hole and make this work? The dissension, the confusion comes from Pope Francis Bergoglio. It is so chaotic and it's so confusing. And St. Paul warns us, God is not the author of confusion.